Hello, my friends. We're back. I am your local art witch, and today I wanted to talk to you about the Golden Universal Tarot. I bought this quite a while ago. I fell in love with this. This is how it was on the case, and she's so gorgeous. I wanted to have it. What's funny is I realized after that this is, where is it? A Los Scarabeo deck anyway, and I just keep finding that those are the decks that I seem to be really attracted to. So it comes in this little tuck box with the little white book. Here are the backs of the cards. Now, before I get too far, as per usual, here's a regular playing card. So it's a standard tarot card side, just a little bit thinner than some of the other tarot cards that I have. Where did I usually keep, just a second. I don't know where my regular, here we go. So as you can see, it's just a little bit, let me get it, just a little bit thinner. I enjoy the backs, and they're fully reversible. Now here comes the beautiful part of this deck. It's got the gold, but what's really striking, like the gold is gorgeous of course, but the black just really helps it pop. So these are thinner, yeah, but it's going to make it easy for ruffle shuffling. Okay, so let's try to keep this in one spot. So here's the Fool. Now, this is another one of those decks that does not tell us at the bottom who this is. You just kind of need to know by the symbols and the numbers. Here's the Magician. And the High Priestess. Of course, she's got the usual, the pomegranates, and it kind of looks like palm trees to me. There's our Empress. I like that she kind of looks pregnant. Most of the Empresses, for the decks I have at least, never look pregnant. And it's really nice to see at least one pregnant person in a deck. The Emperor, Hierophant. I feel like I say it wrong every single time. Here are the Lovers and the Chariot. So see what I mean by the black? It just really helps it stand out. Strength. This sticks really close to a regular like Rider Waite deck, so you could learn with this deck. It's going to transfer easily to like a standard deck, but the problem is, you know, the lack of the title. So how are you supposed to know necessarily that this is the Hermit unless you go look up number 9 every single time? Because even just the word hermit adds some clarity as to what's going on, because like maybe this guy's just traveling at night. Like he does look more hermity than normal. He's out in the desert, but the Wheel of Fortune, I believe. See, I'm getting there. I'm learning. Justice. What is that? Oh, it's just the fold of her clothes. Looked like she had something in her lap. It's been a minute since I've looked through this deck. I do not like to shuffle them before I look at these decks with you guys. Here's the Hanged One. And Death. I love the imagery of Death on the white horse. It brings back like those biblical principles, like revelations feeling. I don't believe that tarot needs to have anything to do with, you know, biblical ideas, but because of my forced, how do I word this? The area I grew up in was very, very religious. Couldn't really escape it without learning about it. And so I grew up with a lot of familiarity with the Bible. So it just brings in that idea of the revelations and stuff. And then it looks like a pope is here. Kind of almost like asking for grace. Temperance. And the devil. And I like that these characters do look like they're, like especially the chains around their necks as opposed to just their feet. It does look like they're entrapped more by their addictions, by their earthly wants or whatever. But I like the addition of this little pentagram that's on his head. A lot of the decks I have don't necessarily have that. And I like that he doesn't have the hooves. He's got like these little bird talons. Here's the tower. Again, like, look at that gold. Star. I may need to start like blurring out certain things. I don't know how problematic it is. I do think we need to like just kind of take the mystery out of. It's not arousing unless you allow it to be. You know, here's the moon and the sun. I'm not sure what's going on with this horse, but otherwise, judgment, the world. So now we're into cups and the minor arcana. I really like these ancient looking, odd looking creatures. Oh, see, now this is another thing I like about having a new deck. I notice things that I normally wouldn't. Like, they're all celebrating, but I don't think I ever noticed, like, grapes. It adds to that idea that they're probably drinking wine. Like, in my mind, it's just, they're just celebrating. Wine does not need to be involved, but this is like Dionysus feeling to me. Here we go. It's the 4. I love when they add the numbers because there's nothing that I shouldn't say nothing, but there's not much that annoys me more than having to sit and count the amount of cups or swords that are in a card, especially as the number gets larger. There's the 7. I like all their clothes. Like, it harkens back to an older time. Now this, so some of the gold is a little bit harder to see because I'm just trying to avoid the glare. Oh, he's so happy. Now look at this, a heavier character. Now this is another deck that's mostly just white. In fact, I think it is all white. So we'll have to see now. Now there's a lot of blue I'm noticing, except for that one. So I really appreciate decks that bring in the sense of the element throughout the suit. It's kind of a rare quality I have found. So here's a page. Now, yeah, it comes with this little helmet instead. Page, the knight. So the knight has the horse, the page has the little helmet, and then the queen has this, and here she is. Look at her, gorgeous. And then the king, his crown is very, very similar, but a little different. There he is. He looks kind of threatening. I don't think I care for this king. Okay, pentacles. I always love this. The one that's, he always looks like he's balancing. Oh, nice. So this one, they're usually like they're kind of outside a church, and this is like in part of an archway, these pentacles. But this one, this guy is still working on a statue. Pentacles is very work oriented. And sometimes this guy, I always like seeing this guy because sometimes he looks really miserly, kind of like he does here, like he's protecting it and hoarding it. And then other ones look a lot more generous. The 5 is always difficult. Look at that. And then this card always interests me too, because sometimes this guy, like he's giving to the people that aren't as well off as he is. And sometimes he looks like he thinks he's better than everybody else. But sometimes he just looks like he is honestly trying to help. Like this is like the good landlord of this, a good nobleman of this village or whatever. Yes, look at all that good work. Still hard at work. And it's coming together. Isn't she gorgeous? I love these type of like dresses and clothes. They're gorgeous. All the hard work has come together. So this is an older looking, yeah, he's had better days, this page. Pages generally should be youthful energy. So this guy looks like he's left that all behind. The Knight, a little bit older, more mature. And the Queen, oh, she looks so generous and kind. Okay, I'm ready. Oh, he looks nice. I was kind of worried because the other king looks so creepy. Okay, wands. I really enjoy wands when they add a little bit of life to the wand. Like where it's fire energy, it's a nice little reminder that fire also brings life. It's not just destructive. Oh, sorry, I was looking because I was like, is he wearing shoes? I don't think he is. Here we go. They're working together. And we're fighting. This always looks like a celebration, like they're coming in after a war or whatever, and their people are welcoming them. Now, he looks like he's fighting against, like if this was our point of view, we have the sticks and he's fighting against us. Creepy. Classic. Kind of has like a Joker-esque, I don't mean like the Batman villain, but like a funny man in the court or whatever. There we go. Struggling. Look at the calves on him though. Darn, sorry. There's the page. See, he already looks like a conquering hero. Like, look. That is not a young man. This guy looks younger. He's the knight. Oh, she's gorgeous. Look at that cat. Oh, that's a very angry looking cat, but I love her. Oh, he looks really nice too. Oh, come on. That's better. I like this line work. It's very, I could see a comic in this style. That's very cool. Oh, neat. So it's got like some extra things hanging from the sword, and I like the perspective on that hand. There she is. Lady with the swords. Oh no. So usually this card is just the heart with the 3 swords, but this one has like extra agony in it, so. Oh, this looks a little bit more peaceful than this card normally does. Normally we see it from the side, and he's also in stone, so like it's a big hint that the body has been buried or whatever, but this still looks, I'm not sure why he's laying in what looks to be a crypt, but he does look alive. Left to gather the swords by himself. There's the 7. And it looks like he's just outside of a circus area. Yeah, so she's tied up to a pole. Usually this lady's the 8 of Swords. She's a freestanding character. So this looks a little bit more oppressive to me than some of my other decks. Oh, look. You can feel the strife. Oof. This deck does not shy away from like those harder images, which I appreciate. See, like the calves again, like this could be a superhero comic. Oh, look at the action in that. That horse is like terrifying. She looks kind but stern, like fair. Yeah, fair is a good word. Oof, no. I had this thought recently, like if I took all the decks I had, chose my very favorite cards from each deck, and assembled them together and made like one like perfect deck. One, it would be a real hodgepodge, but I think that would be really cool. Like you would go through, choose your favorites, and then you would truly have like your deck, like the cards that you have the best associations and kind of relationship with. So let's ruffle first, because I feel like this deck is going to do that very well. Move some of this stuff. I put these here so that way I stay in my camera. Now, as you can see, my hands, they are kind of small, so sometimes cards can be a little awkward for me. Okay, so, oops, I didn't have them close enough together. It's been a day for me today. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There we go. I wish I could do it, like some people have this really fancy, like, push, and then they can do it like that. I can't. Oh, good. My cards aren't too bad. This is my preferred way of shuffling. Now they have nice slip. I like decks that have a little bit because my best reads come from when the cards fly. And like, I don't know if, oh, you probably can't see it, but like the gold is glinting off my side wall over here. It's so pretty. So this deck, I don't think I told you guys what deck this was. This is the Golden Universal Tarot. And it is, yep, Lo Scarabeo. Scarabeo. Sorry, that's really hard to see. I really like it. It's not one of my top favorites. One of the reasons I'm so attracted to it is that gold and the black just is so striking, and some of the character art I really do like. I kind of wish that this deck on the outside was black. I think that would just add to it, so I may do that myself, but if I do that, then I would not feel as if I could potentially rehome this deck. I'm gonna keep it a bit longer to see if I can build a better relationship with it, but like I'm kind of, as much as I really love these gold decks, and I do, like I have a problem. I'm kind of over these white heteronormative thin people decks. Like we saw, so they were all white We saw one person who was heavier set. I do like the costumes. I do like the art style itself. It's interesting, this, like, the gold flecks that they have through, I think, most, if not all, of the backgrounds. And even though they don't have the titles, which I wish they did, I appreciate that they at least put the little symbols, especially for the page and the knight, because they didn't keep the ages consistent. Like, the page should be younger, so at a glance you know who he is and what he's doing. However, they were really good about keeping the knight on a horse. So overall, I like it. This deck would be a great deck to study with, I think, because, like, some of the art is just really evocative of emotion, which is super important to me anyway. So I'm going to keep it a bit longer. I'm going to try to make some decisions. Yeah, so that is the Golden Universal Tarot. It was, how much was it? It wasn't very much. It was only a little bit more than like a standard Rider Waite. So the Rider Waite, sorry, my son got a sticker on it. So the standard Rider Waite, and this is one of the reasons why I like these other options, because it stays very close to Rider Waite, very true to it. But the art is updated, at least. So, like, this is like the standard, and so this, like, that's helpful. Like, if you're gonna learn, I would advise either the original or something very, very close to it, because you're gonna find a ton of decks that are based on this deck. In fact, every time I sort of think, like, especially when I wasn't as familiar with tarot, I would be like, oh, this is a little different. And then it wasn't once I actually got into it. So, yeah. So that is the Golden Universal Tarot. Gorgeous deck. An excellent option if this just does not call for you. I really believe that you should not need, that's a strong word, but you should be attracted. You should want to work with your deck, and that's the only way you're going to learn, right? So if you're not attracted to the original art, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe it's just not for you. You know, feel free to find a different deck that might call to you a bit more. And you'll be a lot happier for it, and it'll quickly become a favorite, you know? So, thank you for joining me on this Tarot Tuesday. I've been your local art witch, and I'm excited to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.